The Odin 2 Portal is on sale for $249, and after 9 months of frequent use, it's still my all-around favorite retro handheld. This video is going to be a quick recap of how I've used the Odin 2 Portal in the last 9 months. I'll do a quick hardware and ergonomics showcase, what type of games I like to play on it. So one of the first things that you notice about the Odin 2 Portal is the beautiful screen. It's 120 Hz and 7 inches, and it's a standout amongst all of the handheld screens I've ever used. I love just scrolling through Emulation Station and looking at different themes and options because this device just looks so beautiful, and I love its colorful, immersive display. In terms of ergonomics and design, I like the aesthetic of the device. It is simple, so it doesn't give the fun factor that some other retro handhelds have. But for me, this is what I want for an at-home, all-around device. It's got the big screen, and the buttons and the controls all feel really nice. I think it's lightweight for its size. It's actually, in my opinion, very comfortable to hold. It's not too dense, and I like the sticks. The triggers feel great, and the buttons and D-pad are also really good. Something I've really been enjoying recently is playing the Odin 2 Portal with a pair of high-quality headphones attached. And in games like Metroid Prime, there are so many atmospheric sounds and character sounds that I hadn't even realized or noticed before I started playing with headphones. There have literally been times when an enemy has appeared and I've jumped, or I'm walking over a metal surface and I hear footsteps that I never noticed. So on a device that's already immersive, I found that adding headphones has really made the experience of playing this thing great. Now, even though the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chipset can play anything up to Nintendo Switch and some PC emulation, a lot of the times I like to play GBA ROM hacks, specifically Pokemon ROM hacks on this thing, just because they look so great on that screen, and the lack of bezels due to the black model just makes it feel so immersive. I've recently been playing Pokemon Lazarus, Pokemon Heart and Soul, and right now I'm working through Super Mario Maker. It's not just GBA, most retro systems look amazing. So I've been trying to play a few new retro games each week. This week I've been playing Castlevania 1 on the NES. This 120 Hz screen allows for black frame insertion and also things like heavy-duty CRT shaders that can really make these older systems shine. So in conclusion, some pros and cons of the device, at least in my opinion. So my number one is the size. I'm usually using this device at home, and therefore I like a larger screen with great ergonomics that just feels comfortable and immersive. And the Portal's 7-inch 120 Hz OLED screen does not disappoint. As I showed, it looks amazing for retro games, Pokemon ROM hacks. It looks great for higher end games, Switch, etc. The screen is by far a standout among all of the handhelds I've used. The ergonomics, in my opinion, are great. A lot of people like using the grip case. Most of the time, I don't even use the grip case. I think it's comfortable. The ergonomic bumps on the back work well. I like the D-pads. The clacky buttons, while contentious, don't really bother me, and I love the sticks and the big triggers. So the controls and ergonomics are great in my opinion. And all of these factors come together to make a very immersive experience. I feel like the Portal is almost perfect in its size, weight, comfort, and beautiful screen. And for that reason, for me, it's my number one retro handheld. Out of all of the handhelds I have, this is the one that I end up using most. Now for a few cons, and I do think that these are subjective. So I mentioned the clacky buttons don't really bother me. I could imagine that they would bother some people, especially if you're conscious about playing around others, or if you want to be able to play in bed with your spouse or something like that. They're gonna hear it. They're clacky. The black model is smudgy. I see a lot of fingerprints and dust particles on the front, and definitely smudges and fingerprints show up on the back. I'm finding myself wiping the device a lot. It's not a huge deal breaker for me, but I definitely do notice it, and it is annoying. Lastly, I don't know if this is a con, but I think that the Odin 2 portal is almost perfect. I would like the ergonomics to just be slightly better, maybe a slightly larger ergonomic bump on the back, maybe some grippy texture on the back, and I'd also wouldn't mind if the screen was like half an inch larger. For me, I'm usually grabbing the Odin 2 portal even over the Steam Deck because I enjoy the lightweight experience. It's almost like a mini Steam Deck, but if there could be something that was just a tiny bit bigger and more ergonomic, for example in the Odin 3 portal, that would be like my ideal retro handheld. So for all of these factors, I think this is a great device. It's still my favorite all-around one. And with that sale at $249, I think this is a strong contender that you should consider if you're looking to buy one of these more expensive devices, and especially at least weigh it versus, the Retroid Pocket 6, Odin 3, etc.